I don't know about you, but I find it endlessly fascinating watching videos on YouTube about how people get by in retirement, what their budget is, how they spend their money, and what they got left at the end of the month. So I thought it might be interesting for some people, I hope, if I share my budget with you today. So my situation is I'm a single, divorced guy living alone in a one-bedroom apartment or flat, as we call it here, in the UK. When I retired 6 months ago now, I became debt-free. I used some of my retirement payout to clear all my debts. So now I have no debts and I have a single source of income, which is an occupational pension from my career. So let's get into the numbers, and I'm going to give the numbers in pounds sterling, which is the currency in the UK, and in US dollars, because so many of the retirement lifestyle YouTube channels are based in the US, and a lot of the budgeting videos that I've seen have come from the US, so it might be interesting to make that sort of comparison. Okay, so I've got all my numbers written down here. My pension, which as I said, is my sole source of income, is the amount is £32,768, and that works out at $44,113. Now, unfortunately, I don't receive all that in my hand because I have to pay tax on that amount, and I pay roughly £336 a month in tax, or again, that works out to be about $453. So what do I end up with after tax in my hand every month? That figure is £2,394, or if you want it in dollars, $3,222. And that's it. That's the total amount that I have to live on during the month for everything. Just as an aside, I am too young at the moment, I'm 64, to receive the government or state pension in the UK. So my income will go up a bit when I reach 67 and I become eligible for the state pension. But I'll leave that for another day because I don't receive that yet, and it's going to be another 3 years before I'm eligible. Okay then, so that's the amount that I receive every month. What are my outgoings? Let's deal with the fixed costs to start with. So I have to pay £415.51, or $560.62 on rent. Rent and service charge, actually. My accommodation situation is a bit strange. We have this type of ownership in the UK called shared ownership. So the apartment I live in, I own 35% of it, and the housing association, the freeholder, owns 65%. So unfortunately, that's just how it is. That's what transpired after I was divorced. That's what I could afford, and property prices being what they are in the UK, that's how things have ended up. So the 65% owned by the housing association is the portion of the property on which I pay rent, and that's £415 or $560. Then I have to pay council tax, which I think in the US is called property tax. That's £112 or $151. My combined gas and electricity bill is £51 a month. That's $68.81. And water, I pay £18 for water, which works out at $24.29. Now, we have this thing in the UK called a TV license, which is effectively a tax. If we own a TV, we have to pay this tax for the privilege of owning a TV, and the money collected goes to fund the BBC. Actually, I'm a fan of the BBC. I don't really mind paying it, but that's £15 a month, and that works out at $20.24. Okay, I run a car. I have a 13-year-old car, so it's quite old, but it's low mileage. It's a Nissan Qashqai automatic in quite good condition, and I have to pay car insurance of £62.61 per month, which is high, I think. I need to look into that, see if I can get that reduced. That converts as $84.48. Again, we have a tax for the privilege of driving on the roads in the UK. We call it road tax, and that's £18.37 per month, and that converts as $24.79. I have a mobile phone. I actually own the phone. I don't pay any rental on the phone, but the data plan is £21.80, or in US dollars, $29.41. I pay for my home internet provider. I pay them £27 a month, and that works out at $36.43. And I have a Sky slash Netflix package, which comes together, and I pay £34.10 for that, and that's roughly $46, almost $46 exactly. What else do we have? Okay, so for the items that I have in my flat, my valuables and the contents of my flat, I pay contents insurance of £5.73 per month, not much. That works out at $7.73. I give £10 a month to a charity I support. That comes to $13.49. I give a small amount, £2, to a campaign group campaigning for electoral reform. I personally think the electoral system in the UK is in need of reform and needs to become more proportional. But anyway, I don't want to get into a political discussion. But that's £2 a month, or $2.70 per month in US dollars. I also pay my dentist £22 per month, or $29.68. Now, that's not an insurance plan. That's simply a way of budgeting my regular checkups and my regular hygienist appointments. So for £22 per month, that pays for two checkups a year, once every 6 months, and two hygienist appointments for a deep clean of the teeth. So I'm just effectively spreading the cost of those appointments over a full year. What else have I got? I pay £3 a month to an organisation called the Civil Service Pensioners Alliance. I'm a former government employee in the UK, and the CSPA supports former civil servants if they get into any sort of difficulty. So that's £3 a month, or $4.05. Now, for some reason, and I'm probably going to cancel this. For some reason, I had big ideas about becoming a master at creating YouTube thumbnails, and I signed up for a Canva Pro account. Now, I use Canva to create thumbnails and to do some other things, but £13 a month seems rather a lot. I've got 46 subscribers, and I'm getting a few hundred views on a video, it doesn't really seem justified to me. In US dollars, that's $17.54, and I think I can get by with the free plan, to be perfectly honest. Maybe in the future, if I become a big YouTuber, then I'll think again. But at the moment, I think I'm gonna cancel that. Now, one of the things I really like doing is travel, and I do a lot of traveling in Europe. Um, Obviously, Europe is right on the doorstep for us here in the UK, and I pay an annual travel insurance policy, but I've broken it down. Actually, I paid this up front, but I've divided the cost of that by 12 to give a monthly cost of £4.09 or $5.52, which is really, really good value. And that premium has actually come down because I've had that policy for around about 3 years now, and it's got a little bit cheaper. I pay for a lottery called Omaze. It's not a lottery where you win a huge amount of money. It's a lottery where the winner wins a very valuable house each month, and it's usually a house worth 3 or 4 million pounds in a really prestigious or sought after part of the country. Um, it's £15 a month, quite a lot, but now I'm too scared to stop doing it in case my number comes up. So I'm sort of tied into it for £15 a month. But who knows? Someone has to win it, and who knows? It might be me one day. So that works out at $20.24 in US currency. I seem to be paying Apple for extra cloud storage of um, I don't really understand it. I've signed up for Apple Cloud. I must have thought I needed it at some point. I paid £2.99 a month for that, or $4.03. But I need to look into it. Do I need it or not? I mean, it's a tiny amount of money, but if I don't need it, then I'll stop it. But I need to check. I need to check out on that. Then I have a window cleaner. Um, he comes every 6 weeks and cleans my windows at home, and I pay it every 6 weeks. But I've averaged that out. I've done the arithmetic, and that works out at £10.83 per month, or in US dollars, $14.61. Now those are my fixed costs, and those are the costs that I can be absolutely definite about. What I'm not been very good at thus far, but I'm going to keep a detailed track of it going forward, is what I actually spend on things like groceries, petrol or fuel for the car, and also other miscellaneous expenses. So, eating out, for example, or going to the coffee shop, or maybe buying, I don't know, maybe I need a new screen protector for my phone. It's not within the fixed expenses I have every month, but just like everybody, I have certain number of expenses that just crop up randomly every month. You need to spend the money, and I don't track it very well. But I'm going to carry on doing these videos, and that's something I'm going to track in detail going forward. But I've made some estimates. I don't think I'm going to be a long way out with these. So my estimate is that for food, for groceries, I spend £200 a month. In US dollars, that would be $270. I don't do a lot of driving where possible. I prefer to walk, but if it's a long distance, obviously I'll take the car. I think I spend in the region of £50 a month, which would be $67.50 in US currency. For miscellaneous, I'm going to say 100 to 150 pounds a month. So what's that? It's going to be $135 is £100. So maybe between 135 and $200 a month on miscellaneous expenses. But as I said, I haven't kept a detailed account of that, but I intend to do that going forward because interesting to compare month by month and see where, if possible, savings can be made. So all that means that I am spending, um, I stress again, those last three items, the food, the petrol, the miscellaneous, they were estimates. But I'm spending roughly in the region of between £1,215 and say £1,265 a month. So that would be something like $1,640 to $1,700 a month. Now that, thankfully, is quite a bit less than my monthly pension. If you recall, my monthly pension is £2,394 a month. So it means I'm left with a surplus of between 11.25 and 11.80 pounds a month, or $1,500 to $1,590 a month. So there you are. That's my financial picture. That's my monthly expenditure. I want to just say that that surplus at the end of every month, that sounds great. Of course, I'm glad to have that surplus, and I completely understand. That might be a far more comfortable position than a lot of people watching this, but actually, it's difficult to compare. We've all got a different situation. Now, I have this quite healthy monthly income. What I don't have, which lots of the YouTubers I've been watching, particularly from the US, seem to have, is I don't have a substantial portfolio of investments. I don't have a great pile of cash in a bank account. I do have some emergency savings, in case of as it says on the tin, an emergency, if the car goes wrong or if I have to replace the washing machine or the boiler, something of that nature. But I don't have a great deal of money invested. It's in the tens of thousands, not hundreds of thousands of pounds or dollars. So one of the things that I want to do and hope to do with this surplus amount that I have every month is bolster my emergency savings, and of course to take some trips and go on holiday and enjoy life a bit as well. But I'd like to achieve a balance between saving some of that money and using it to enjoy my retirement. So that's it. That's my situation. I'm going to be doing another one of these videos next month, by which time I will have started tracking in detail the food, the petrol, the miscellaneous expenses. In fact, everything I spend. So I'll be able to give an honest account of where the money goes, whether I've been able to save any money, etc., etc. So I hope you found that interesting. If you've got any questions, please drop them in the comments below. If you've got any comments, such maybe you think my budget is very frugal, maybe you think it's very comfortable, maybe you think I'm doing something stupid there, or you've got some ideas how I could organise that better. If you have, I'd love to hear from you. Please put them in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.